Hello student, welcome to our class. So before starting our class, let's observe one thing. Okay, so you can see this like a sheet of a paper. Okay, if I tell you to convert this sheet of paper into pieces, this changes is which type of changes will be. So it will be like physical changes. It will be like physical changes. You can see that. Okay, so if I tell you to convert this a sheet of paper into essays, then this type of changes is which type of changes? Like it will be a chemical changes. So it will be like chemical changes. Okay, very good. So can you tell me why are these changes called physical changes? Like here you can see no new substance are formed. Like in chemical changes, like burning of candle and burning of matchstick and digestion of lemonade. So in this you can see there is a chemical changes. So now tell me why are these changes called chemical changes? So here you can see new substance are forming. So we can say this is a chemical changes. So now give me two difference between physical and chemical changes. Like here you can see some are physical changes, reversible and non new substance are formed in physical changes, and in chemical changes it will be reversible and formation of a new substance. So it will be a chemical changes. So again moving further, so here we will discuss about chemical change occur, like we will see the chemical reaction in this today's lecture. So today's our topic will be a chemical changes. Like today's our topic will be the chemical reaction and changes. Okay, so first we have to discuss about physical changes. Like here you can see a physical changes, like you can see this change will be in the shape, size, color or state of a substance. And some characters of a physical changes, it will be like is usually reversible and temporary, and no new substance are forming, and you can see no energy in the form of heat or light. Temperature is emitted during a physical reaction. Okay, so let's discuss about chemical change. Like here you can see one or more substance are converted into one or more new substance, so it's called chemical changes. So let's discuss about characteristics of a chemical changes. So in characteristics of a chemical changes, it will be a like permanent and formation of a new substance, and a chemical change is generally irreversible and emits or absorb the form of energy such as heat, light or electricity during a chemical reaction. So this is the characteristics of chemical changes. So therefore a chemical changes, also known as chemical reaction, is a process in which one or more substance are altered into one or more new different substance. So this is called chemical reaction. Okay, so give me some examples of chemical reaction occurs in space. Okay, Like we will take some examples. Like we can see salt formation and photosynthesis. And after that, digestion of food, respiration. Digestion of respiration. So these are the example of chemical reaction. Okay, so everyone is clear till now. So here we have to do some question, like we will do some questions like a dash is a temporary change in which no substance is forming and the chemical composition remains the same even though its physical property like color, state, shape, size, etc. might change. What will be the answer here? So here we can see that the we are talking about the changes like substance is forming, and we can see that the changes are in color, state, shape, size. So it will be a physical changes. So for this the answer will be physical changes. Moving to next question, like a sheet of paper was torn into pieces and then burned. What change does this sheet paper undergo? Like it will be true or false? Like all chemical changes are permanent. So for this it will be the true. Okay. So moving further, now we have to do like activity, and we have to observe that activity, and we you have to share the observation by watching the video. So okay, so like as we can see in our textbook there is one activity like activity 1.1. So share your observation by looking in your textbook that activity 1.1. Okay, so that you can see that observation was there like magnesium ribbon burned with dazzling with flame and changed into a white powder. So this powder is magnesium oxide, and it is formed due to the reaction between magnesium and oxygen present in air. So as we see in this activity 1.1, so this is the observation of activity 1.1. So like we can see that activity 1.2 is also there. What that relates to this activity 1.1? So here we can see that potassium iodide is added to solution of lead nitrate taken in the test tube. So here is the observation, like we can see the changes in color. We get yellow precipitate of lead iodide. From this two activity, what you infer? What you inferred, like after studying that activity, after observing that activity, what you infer, that which type of. So now we will discuss about the characteristics of chemical reaction. So here it will be the characteristics of chemical reaction. Okay, so let's discuss about the characteristics of chemical reaction. Like you can see from the above two activity, we can say that one of the following observation help us to determine whether a chemical reaction has taken place. Like change in state, like you can see that magnesium plus ox, so it will be the MgO2. So this will be the reaction, like Mg plus O2, it get reacted MgO2. Okay, so it reacts spontaneously with oxygen present in atmosphere to form white ash of magnesium oxide with the liberation of energy. So like you can see, there is changes in color. Like lead nitrate and potassium iodide both are colorless. They react with each other to form a yellow precipitate of lead iodide. Like lead iodide settles down at the bottom of the tube. So this is the characteristics of chemical reaction. Now give the two example of chemical reaction from our daily life which show the function. Like here we can see changes in color. Like here you can see changes in color, like rusting, blackening of surface of cut vegetable and fruits are other example of change of color in chemical reaction. So this is the examples of chemical reaction. Now coming to next, I hope till now everyone is clear what is the chemical reaction and the characteristics of chemical. So now coming to next, like why should a magnesium ribbon be cleaned before burning? So tell me why it will be cleaned before burning. Okay. So moving further, so here we can see the another activity like 1.2 activity. We have to observe that activity and you have to share the observation of activity 1.3. So student, tell me your observation. Like here you can see air bubbles comes out from the granules and beaker become warm. So here's my question for you. Why do they conclude from this activity? What do they conclude from this activity? So here we can see that the characteristics of chemical reaction. So we will discuss about the characteristics of chemical reaction. So very good. So here we will discuss characteristics of chemical reaction. First one will be the evolution of a gas. So here it will be the evolution of the gas. So here you can see that the characteristics of chemical reaction. So first one will be the evolution of a gas. Evolution of a gas. And the second is the change in temperature. Change in temperature. So here you can see that zinc granules react with hydrochloric acid and forms hydrogen gas. So this is the reaction like Z NS2HCl AQ. It's react ZnCl to AQ. So this is the reaction. Like here you can see Zn. Okay. So after that here we will add S2 and plus heat. This is the reaction. So here we can see the increases in temperature and gas release of hydrogen gas. Here you can see increase in temperature release of hydrogen gas. So this is the characteristics of chemical reaction. So I hope everyone is clear with the characteristics of chemical reaction. So let's take example of chemical reaction from our daily life which show the function. Okay, so here we can see that changes in temperature and evolution of a gas is the examples of our daily life. So like here we can see when a baking soda is mixed with lemon juice, bubbles are formed with the evolution of a carbon dioxide gas. So these are the examples of in our daily lives. So let's ask you one question like why which gas released when the action of dilute hydrochloric acid on zinc. So share your answer. Okay, so let's recall our today's class like what we have studied in our today's class and what we have learned about. So here we can see in our today's class we have learned about chemical reaction and its characteristics, and now let's summarize today. Okay, so here you can see there are the changes, two type of changes. Like first one is the physical changes and the second one is the chemical changes. Like in physical changes you can see the characteristics of its example, and in chemical changes characteristics and its example. Okay, so here we can see that characteristics and its example. Like here is the homework for you. Like here is one activity. The activity is that you have to take a Coca-Cola bottle and Mentos and add into and observe the activity carefully and answer the following question like how quickly did the reaction start to happen and how quickly did it stop, then how did the eruption appear to go, and how much liquid is left in the bottle. So here is the second question like if you leave a piece of iron in the open for a few days, it acquires a film of brownish substance called rust. So here is the option like A. Do you think rust is different from iron? Can you change rust back into iron by some simple method? Do you think formation of rust from iron is chemical change? Give two other example of a similar type of change. So here is question for you like when a candle burn both physical and chemical changes take place, identify these changes and give another example of phenomenon which both the chemical and physical changes take place. So this is the homework for you. So let's end our class and we will meet in our next class. Thank you everyone.